I have an integral here that I'd like to solve. It looks a little bit complicated to me. I've got one function times another function, and normally if I've got one function times another function, the technique that I would try to go to is the reverse of the product rule, which is called integration by parts. But in this case, I notice that if I ignore this piece for a second, I've got a function inside of another function. So I can think of this as e to the u, where u is x to the fifth. Then it's like u substitution or chain rule, and the derivative of x to the fifth is 5x to the fourth, which is very closely related to this. It's just a constant multiple of this. Since the derivative of that inside function is a constant multiple of what's left over here, I know that I'll be able to use u substitution to solve this. So I'm going to let x to the fifth be u, then take the derivative of u with respect to x. Then I'll solve for dx, treating du and dx as variables. So multiply both sides by dx, then divide by 5x to the fourth. You may be able to do this a little more quickly using a different method, but this way always will work when you can use u substitution. Now I'll plug that in for dx, and I'll rewrite x to the fifth as u. And now, before I take my antiderivative, I need to have all the x's gone, so I want to simplify this. I've got an x to the fourth in the top here, and x to the fourth in the bottom here. So what I end up with is 1/5 times e to the u du. The derivative of e to the x is just e to the x. So the antiderivative of e to the u is e to the u. And now I go back and plug in what u was in terms of x. There's my antiderivative. I can verify that this is the antiderivative, of course, by taking this derivative, making sure I get back to this function. And the chain rule tells me that I would have my derivative as e to the x to the fifth times the derivative of x to the fifth. So that means that I'm off by a constant. I forgot to bring this 1/5 down. So I need a 1/5 here. It's a good thing I checked. Now the derivative is 1/5 e to the x to the fifth times 5x to the fourth. That 5 and this 1/5 cancel, and I'm left with x to the fourth times e to the x to the fifth, like I should be.